Yeah. So picking up from, let's see. Okay, yeah. So picking up from where we left off, I do want to share my screen just so we can kind of recalibrate ourselves or reorient ourselves. Thank you. Okay, can you guys see my screen okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hmm. I don't know why. I'm sorry. All right, can you guys still see everything okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so we started off in the last lesson going through the design thinking framework. So I just want to make sure that we remember where we are. So we talked about the 5 phases of the design thinking framework and how when you are assigned a new product design, these are the 5 phases that we go through. And we went in depth over, first we empathize and that kind of, who remembers empathize, and then the second phase is define. The third phase is ideate. Today, we're at the fourth phase, which is prototype. We're going to talk about that. But the empathizing phase is where we talked about, the interviewing process, getting in contact with or getting in touch with the end users with their problem, the problem that we're solving for them, possible pain points or known pain points, how to alleviate those, and design an experience that relates to who they are, where they are in life, and what they're trying to achieve. That was to empathize. And then we moved on. If you remember, the second phase was define. And define is gathering all of the information that we got from the interviews and the surveys. I'm sorry, the interviews and the surveys. From the emphasize phase, we come up with one singular statement, one singular problem statement. And that problem statement becomes the focus of our design moving forward. And then we talked about the ideate phase. And the ideate phase was where we, kind of just come up with we develop the persona. We go deeper into that. So we go deeper into the persona, deeper into the problem statement, deeper into brainstorming, like how might we? Remember we talked about the how might we, different brainstorming techniques. Actually, that's what we're picking up today because we left off with how might we. But there are other brainstorming techniques to go over when we go through the ideate phase. So the ideate phase is when we move into coming up with possible solutions for the problem that we have defined in the defined state. And then moving on from that is when we take all of those ideas and we start prototyping. And we're going to talk about the different types of prototyping practices. And then we move on to testing. And then you'll see that prototyping and testing are very tightly coupled together because everything you prototype, you want to test. And it's like kind of that back and forth until you get a workflow and a possible solution that's a good solution for the user. So let me pause this for 1 second. And then get back to where we were. Does that kind of bring you guys back to where we were? Just kind of remember the big picture where we're headed down this path where we are right now.
Yes.
I know sometimes over a week, like, like what were we at? What were we doing? Okay, let me share my screen again. Okay, can everyone see the screen again?
Yes.
Okay, here it is. So we left off with how might we, and we were coming up with our how might we questions. And just to pick up where we left off with Kim is a middle-aged, busy career mom. Excuse me. Kim is a middle-aged, busy career mom who needs personal training services that are easy to book, connect with her trainer, and track her progress, and work at home, work at her own pace, because she wants to take care of herself within the limited time she has. And we start some of our how might we questions for like, how might we make the online booking process fast? How might we make the online communication with her trainer feel personable? How might we make tracking her progress intuitive and easy? So last week we kind of worked through these at a high level, and we came up with some how might we questions. When we were working through Angela's workflow. So how far did we get through how might we make tracking her progress intuitive and easy? We talked about it, but I don't know how many questions we actually worked out. Angela, do you have your, I know we're focusing on Janella, but we started with your how might we questions. So I was just wondering if you still have your Figma file open. We'll come back to it. I'm gonna move forward. Another brainstorming. I'm sorry, what were you saying?
I have it open.
Okay, we'll circle back. So how might we, we're talking about when we go through the ideation phase, we have the most common brainstorming techniques. And how might we is one of them. So how might we is when we just talk, we always rephrase every question with how might we, right? And this how might we blank. And the blank is everything that we identify that we're gonna focus on with the design, centered around that one problem statement. Right. So this was like our single problem statement. Another brainstorming technique is rapid sketching. So while how might we focuses on written questions and solutions, rapid sketching is a visual approach to ideation. It's commonly called crazy eights. So like when you are when you start your career, you're going to hear either the term rapid sketching or you're going to hear the term crazy eights. Rapid sketching is especially useful when designers need to brainstorm the visual elements of a new design. First, designers clarify the problem they're trying to solve or the idea they're trying to iterate. They might use one of the questions or solutions they develop in a how might we exercise. So then they divide a large sheet of paper into 8 squares, grab something to draw with, start an 8-minute timer, and we're going to go through this process today. Start an 8-minute timer, take 1 minute to sketch an idea or solution in each square. When the 8-minute timer goes off, there should be a different sketch in each of the paper's 8 squares. Designers can adapt this approach as needed. So for example, if a designer has less time or a smaller sheet of paper, they may start with 4 squares and a 4-minute sketch, right? So looking at our problem statement again, where it says, Kim is a middle-aged, busy career woman who needs personal training services that are easy to book, connect with her trainer, and track her progress and work at her own pace because she wants to take care of herself within the limited time she has. So when we go through like the how might we questions, how might we make the online booking process fast, right? So then we'll stop, do the 8 squares, come up with 8 different possible solutions, and then rapid fire it. One of the benefits of doing, like the 8 squares or the crazy eights, the rapid sketching, it stops you from overthinking. Sometimes your best ideas are the first ideas you come up with, and then we pick them apart until they become not what they originally were. So one of the cool things about the crazy eights or the rapid sketch is that it allows you to get all of your ideas out without getting stuck or hung up on one, which is actually a really good practice not only for UX design, but just life in general. You know, like if you're problem solving or trying to figure out the best way to, you know, say you're deciding between whether or not you say one job offer or the other job offer. Do a crazy eights and like write down all the solutions in the eight squares and set a timer. If you're trying to figure out which pillows to buy for your bedroom, or you're trying to figure out how to design or redesign your bedroom space, do crazy eight. It can apply in other areas outside of UX design. But so I want to pause here. We're going to go through the crazy eights. We're going to pick up what I want to pick up. I'm trying to think, how should I do this? Should we pick up Angela's or should we? So I'm going to actually, what I want to do is I want to pause here. I'm going to rewind. We're going to look at Janella's workflow. We're going to go through the process that we went through with Angela's project last week to bring you all the way up to speed with yours. And then we're going to pick back up where we are with the rapid sketching. So if anyone was watching this review class, at this point, you want to take your how might we, you know, questions, take one of them at a time and set an 8-minute timer for each one of the how might we questions, and then come up with solutions for those. So whatever project you're currently working on, this is the time to go through the crazy eights process. So let me set pause here.